Are power of sales on the rise in Canada? There's been a lot of chatter recently, especially about the private lending and the high-risk lending side of our industry, that power of sales are coming to the market at a rate that we have not seen in nearly a decade. And to add to that, I've been selling real estate now for 10 years, and I have done 2 power of sales in 10 years. So that kind of speaks to the health, at least of the Toronto real estate market, until at least 2023. You add in 8 rate hikes, the fact that property values have come down, that replacement lenders on these private side of lending are not showing up like they used to, which is forcing some people to put their property on the market as a power of sale. So in this video, we're going to go over exactly what is happening, how many power of sales actually exist right now in the city of Toronto, and the 3 different types of sellers I think would be important to talk about. My name is Tom Storey. I run a real estate team here in the city of Toronto. If you watch this video and you find any value in it, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, and join our growing community. We have just passed 8,000 subscribers, which is honestly like mind-blowing to me. I think we went up like 5,000 people just last year. I appreciate you being here. And if you're getting any value out of these videos, if you could join the community, that would be awesome. You can also go into the first link in the description and book an appointment directly with me at a time that works for you. Now, in a previous video, I had showed you the CMHC delinquency rate in terms of the people that weren't making their mortgage payments. And it was actually at an all-time low. It was 0.14, so well under 1%, where pre-pandemic, it was at like 0.28. So if you look at those numbers, you'd say to yourself, well, why is there more power of sales then if less people are missing their mortgage payments than ever before? And in comes the private lending side of the industry. You can get a mortgage by going to a big bank or maybe a credit union using a mortgage broker. But if you don't qualify, there's other options for you. There is B lending, there is private lending where the rates are significantly higher, but you will get the financing that you are looking for. But what has happened is that prices have started to come down. The lenders are now basically saying, if you can't make your payments, we are selling this property. And there's no backup replacement lenders. Noel Mathias was actually explaining this to me, what is actually happening. It is still a very, very small segment of the market, but it's going to start showing up more than maybe we've seen it in the past decade. And that got me thinking, okay, in the city of Toronto, I did a search on our Realtor MLS and I typed in contains the word power of sale, because you'd think if it's a power of sale, they're going to say what it is. I found 29 search results, so 29 new listings from September 1st, 2022 until today. What's interesting is that 11 of those 29 have already found a buyer. These power of sales have sold, and one of them actually sold above the asking price, which is kind of ironic that in an economy that people are forced to sell something, someone is willing to pay more than the asking price. Now, the Toronto Real Estate Board has thousands and thousands of new listings that come out every single month. So 29 power of sales compared to the total amount of listings that have come out from September is obviously still a very, very, very small portion of the market. Also thought it was kind of interesting. I'm going to show you here on the screen is of those 11 power of sale properties that actually sold. Okay. The average was they got 96% of the asking price. The median was 98% of the asking price. The median sale price was $975. The median average price was just over $1 million. So if the rest of the market right now is trading at about 98% of the asking price, power of sales were selling for like 1% less than typical sales. So it doesn't mean just because you're bidding on a power of sale that's necessarily a great deal. There's also a lot of other things involved that I can get into in specifics in another video, but sometimes you have to buy the property as is, and the bank has very specific terms. So that's something you're going to want to educate yourself on if you are looking at those type of opportunities. So power of sales are the one that everyone's going to talk about. I'd say that's number 1 on the list. But there are 2 other types of sellers. I actually think there's way more activity and way more percentage of the market happening right now that hasn't yet creeped into the news headlines. The second one would be a distressed seller. This is someone that is worried about making their mortgage payments. Maybe they can afford the next 2-3 months of mortgage payments until they won't be able to make it anymore, and they're forced to bring their property to the market because they want to get it sold before they have to foreclose on it. Now, these properties are likely on the market right now, but the seller is not going to go out there and announce to you that they are desperate to sell their property. It's going to look like a regular home for sale. And then the third type of seller, which makes up even more percentage of the market than the other 2, is the motivated seller. I've had a lot of conversations with people in the last 30 days that bought a property less than 18 months ago that want to sell it because of the interest rates. Now, they can make their payments, they could still hold on to it, but they just kind of want to cut their losses and get out. So the motivated seller, I'd say, represents the biggest chunk of the market right now. Now, you can go into MLS listings and search for the word motivated. We had a motivated seller list at one point we were sending out, which I can start again. If you guys are interested, comment below and let me know. To wrap up this video, I think we have to be very clear on one thing. We are early days here. Do I think power of sales are going to be every third listing coming to the market? No, I don't think that's going to happen at all. Do I think they're going to come at a rate that we haven't seen previously? Yeah, of course they are. And interest rates have never gone up this rapidly. So you're going to see an impact from that. It's not going to happen the day after the hike. It's going to happen in 6-12 months from now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments below. My name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins.